Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Chantel and I make videos on locks and now becoming a nurse. My channel normally was about fitness, my braces journey, and I have transitioned and pivoted into a new career that I am sharing with you guys. And you know, it's something that I'm excited about and I'm passionate about. So, first of all, I have 2 college degrees already. Two college degrees, right? Do I use these college degrees? Yes and no. I have a finance background and I have been in the finance world for over 20 years plus, doing mortgages, underwriting, accounts payable, accounts receivable, financial advisor. And I'm just a person who like numbers and like problem solving. So I really enjoy, working in the finance world. My degrees are basically in like mental health. I wanted to be a therapist. When I first went to college, I wanted to be a therapist. And after like interning at a few of their organizations with battered women, it was too much for me. It was entirely too much for me. It brought back a lot of old memories that and things that were triggering to me, and I felt like I was strong enough to go into these environments and help these young ladies. And honestly, I still needed help. So when I got my last degree, bachelor's, I COVID had just started, and I was on my way to University of UNF, University of North Florida, to get my master's to be a therapist. And COVID happened. I was like, I'm not. I mean, I was ready to go. Classes were going to start, and y'all, I did not go. I returned all the financial aid money, and I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. I need to go to therapy myself. There are still some things that I need to work on growing up. And like growing up and being a single mom and going through a divorce, I thought I could just put it all behind me, but I couldn't. So I started going to therapy. I got the help I need. Then I was like, you know what? I always wanted to be a mortician. I know, go figure. So I had a friend who knew someone in the mortuary world, and I'm so grateful for her. She called and made connections. He let me assist in the process of preparing the body from cradle to grave, and I loved it. We then worked on another body and from cradle to grave, and I loved it. And I won't disclose the name because you if you don't have a license, you're not supposed to be doing any of that. I was enrolled in the class. I had my classes ready to go for that again. And we were taking the classes and I was paying out of pocket this time because I exhausted all of my Pell Grant for my 2 degrees. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna pay out of classes. I took out loans too, but I don't want to take out so much loans again. So I was like, okay, you know what? We're going to just pay out of pocket. And the classes are only like $400 a class. So I decided to go to community college, but now it's a full-time college in my city, Florida State College. And I was like, you know what? We're just going to pay out of pocket. I put myself on a payment plan. I started doing that. And then I met this guy and we was at gym and he was asking me like what I was doing. He saw my iPad mini. He saw me studying. Long story short, he was like, I can make a call to the state embalmer for you. I was like, what? Are you serious? So he put me in contact with the state embalmer and I was able to speak with him, go over some things. And he was telling me about the bad side of being a funeral director and being an embalmer. I've always seen the good side, but I've never seen the bad side. So long story short, I was like, you know what? This ain't for me. This ain't for me, God. So I prayed about it and I asked God for, direction. I was like, if you want me to be a nurse, let me see a yellow bus. And I said this in my other video. Let me see something bright yellow, God, in the next 3 days. So on the fourth day on my way to work, because God don't work on my time, he work on his own time, I saw a yellow SUV. I mean, yellow, not SUV. It was a semi truck, but it had no back piece to it. It was just the front part. And I was on the phone with my dad. I was like, oh my God, oh my God. And he was like, what? I was like, and I told him the story. He was like, well, glory be to God. So I then switched my major and it took me like jumping through hoops to switch my major because the college was like, ma'am, you have switched this major 3 times. What are you doing? You already have your bachelor's. Why are you here? And I was like, well, I want to be a nurse. So I started the process on becoming a nurse. So the first thing I had to do was I had my degree audited, and they were like, okay, here are your transcripts. You need to either take these classes, these different classes. The science that you took do not, they are not, like, we cannot use those towards the nursing degree. You have to get a associate's in nursing before you can get an associate's in bachelor's, before you can get your bachelor's or go into any program, which I think is crazy because, like, if I already have bachelor's, why are you making me go back and get an associate in nursing? But I digress. So I was like, you know what? Cool. So I went to the school, and this was in fall of last year, and talked to the advisor, and it was like, look, you need organic chemistry, um, anatomy 1, anatomy 2, and microbiology, and then you can start the nursing program. You will graduate with your associates in nursing, and then you can go and start a nursing program, which is a 1 year bridge nursing program. And I was upset because I was like, I already have these degrees. Why do I have to do it this way? So he sat down and explained to me, like, ma'am, you don't have no science. You have to have all these science in order for you to get a nursing, a bachelor's in nursing. I thought I could just go in there with my previous bachelor's. He was like, no, because you already have these bachelor's, you can go ahead and you're like, you can have a spot in the program, but it's contingent upon you completing these classes. So I went back to UNF, talked to the advisor, sat with them, and they were like, look, go back to your other school because it's cheaper. Their classes was like $800 per credit. And at Florida State College, the whole class is one price. So instead of me paying like, well, it was $800 for the whole class because it was like, I think per credit, it was like 200 or 150, something like that. But the total was 800 per class. And then over here is 400 out of pocket for one class. And I was like, you know what? We're going to go where it's cheaper for me. So I started spring of 2026 with chemistry. And you guys, I'm not gonna lie, I was so confused. It was like Chinese to me. I did not know what I was doing. I felt so lost. I felt so behind. And let me pull it up. I want to see how many weeks it was. I did not think I was going to even get a B. I thought I was going to get a D. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Let me look at it. Here we go. I was emailing her for extra credit. Then we do our proctor again. This was yeah, I'm trying to find the syllabus. I'm looking at my summer classes. This is crazy. Hmm. I just go to her. I think it was 12 weeks because we started in January and we are in April. So it's April 29th. I actually ended the course a little earlier the week before. And what I did in order for me to get a B in the class from someone who learns very differently, I am a visual learner. And I actually am surprised that I taught myself this course. I did not go and take any classes. I did everything online while still working, still filming content, and still being a full-time mom. My daughter may be 21, but she lives with me. She takes all her classes online. She's like, I'm not going to no dorm. I'm not doing that. Those people are crazy, mama. I'm staying home. I was like, okay, fine. So the number one tool that I'm going to say when going to school is get you an iPad. Get your iPad and get you a pen. So this one, I got this like years ago, y'all. This version of iPad is the iPad Air 4th generation. This is the Apple Pencil 2. I have my iPad mini and I have my Apple Pencil for my iPad mini too. But I definitely recommend getting an iPad. I was able to, let me just show you guys. With the iPad, you're able to just take everything with you all the time. And you can review your notes when you're at work, when you're home. I have a little folder. It's called chemistry folder right there. So that's my chemistry folder. And then I have like, let me just let y'all see. Like I made the chemistry folder here. This is my little chemistry folder that I made. And with this, I want y'all to see. I think it go, oh, this way. These are all the notes that I did, the periodic table, everything. There's my professor, the syllabus. I exported everything and constantly like reading the syllabus over and over. And then what I did was import her syllabus into my GoodNotes. And every time I completed an assignment, I highlighted it. So I highlighted it over and over and over. So, you know, the class ends on 4:30. I already ended the class on 4:20. I took everything. The test was open up, so I took it. And that's her syllabus. Okay. Let me see. Okay. So then what I did was I created a little calendar. This is a little calendar that I created. It's on sale in my storefront on TikTok. I have a storefront. I will link it in the video bio of this video. And you can click the link and get this planner so that you can put all of your tests, your modules, everything that you need done up here, like the discussion board, what's due, so that you can see what you need to do that week. That's one thing that I did to help me be successful in chemistry. Okay, so let's go ahead. Then what I started doing was, I'm a visual learner, so I drew everything. I drew everything out and I constantly went over the equation over and over and over again. Like you guys will see, these are just all my notes over and over and over and over again. The only three advice that I'm going to give you is: one, get an iPad. I'm being honest. Two, write down everything, go over the questions over and over and over. And three, like, look, this is it. This is just all I did all the time, was just practice questions, notes, practice questions, practice questions, practice questions, practice questions, practice questions, practice questions, questions. Like, you have to constantly periodic table questions. You have to constantly go over the questions over and over again. And some people might say, well, you can use ChatGPT, but I did not use ChatGPT. I did old school pen and paper. I went to YouTube, I put in the question, and I watched a video, and I watched someone do it over and over and over again. The third recommendation would be to go to your school and ask for help. When I was at the school, there was no one to help me physically, no one there. In my last video, you saw that I picked up handout. Those handouts were actually very similar to the questions that were on the test, which I thought was crazy. I was like taking the proctor test and I was like, this was just on the handout. It was a different question, but the same like format. Different, like it might have said, what is it? Calculate the number of proton, neutrons, and electrons in a single number of atom with a mass of 15. That was the practice question. And the test said with a mass of 12. So I already knew like the method to plug and play was to basically just, you know, do practice questions and go to your school library and ask and look for some handout. Now, me, I'm moving on to taking anatomy. I do have one little I think it's 6-week class. It is another English class. It's like an elective that they put as a requirement, which I think is crazy, but it's only 6 weeks. So in the summer course, we will go over that course that I'm taking. What am I doing? How do I feel about it? How I prep. You guys are going to come on this journey with me as becoming a nurse. However long it takes, we're going to get it done. We're going to get it done. So that are the 3 points that I will have with anyone who is going into um, doing their prereqs for nursing. If you're in the very beginning stage, you have a long way to go. But if you already have your bachelor's degree and you are like, okay, I'm going back and you have to take these courses over again, this is what I did to be successful. Now, for me, I'm going into anatomy in the fall. So I'm going to do anatomy. It's going to be a 8 weeks course, and then I'm going to try to do anatomy 2, or I might skip and do microbiology. But I might do anatomy and microbiology together. I'm still looking for a professor, but I might just wait. Rome is not built in a day, and I want to make sure that I grasp the material. I'm not in no rush. I'm not in no rush. And that's one thing God has taught me in this season is, why are you rushing it? I still want to enjoy life. I still work a full-time job. I do eventually, when I do start the program, I want to find a job in the hospital. If where I'm working at accommodates me and allow me to still work while I'm in nursing school, then, but I do not know. Um, my plan is to 100% devote my time and energy to the nursing program when I am in it. I had already talked to the teachers and stuff at the school, and they're like, look, your GPA is very high, keep the GPA high, and you will have no problem being accepted into the program at UNF. That's the program that I want to go to. That's what I am excited about. Now, I thought about JU, Jacksonville University. Yeah, I think it's, yeah, Jacksonville University, which is a private university, but they have a program that is a little faster than University of North Florida. So I don't know which program I'm going to go into. We're going to go which works best for my schedule. We're not worrying about the money because I will take out loans. I will apply for scholarships. I will do what I have to do. But one thing about me, I pay my bills. So I will be paying my loans back. My goal is the first year after nursing, get some experience underneath my belt, and then I'm going to be a travel nurse for a good 2 years. I plan to be a travel nurse and travel. I already told my daughter, like, hey, you're going to be here by yourself. And she can come with me to any assignments that I have if she wants. Stay there while I go to work because I'm going to play off my loans. So that is my goal. But I hope these tips have helped you on your prereq journey to becoming a nurse. So now that I have passed this chemistry, I am 1% nurse, and we are on our way to 100% of being a nurse. I am excited to have so many people in my family that are nurses, nurse practitioners in the medical field, and I'm happy to, join alongside of them and add my value, add my, personality, add my faith, add, my skill sets to this profession. I'm very excited. I'm very excited. What type of nurse I'm going to be? I want to be a labor and delivery nurse. Then I want to be a site nurse. Then I want to be a forensic science nurse. So I don't know what type of nurse I'm going to be, but your girl's going to be a nurse, and you guys will see me on this journey, God willing. And, I know God is going to see me through from the beginning to the end. And I'm so blessed and grateful for this opportunity, being able to go to school and to go to school again, and continue my education. And it's like, when I look back at my degrees, what is that? Yeah, when I look back at my degree, oh, they're so dirty. And it has my name. Y'all, they actually spelled my name wrong. I think my middle name. Yeah. They put my name Maria and it's Marie. And I think I want to get that fixed for them. But when I look back at my bachelor's degrees, I just really I'm really happy, bachelor's of science. And it just lets me know that anything is possible. And if I can do it, you can do it too. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it in the end. And this is something that no one can ever take away from me. And I'm just excited about my next journey. So make sure you guys follow me on TikTok. You guys follow me on Lemon8. And I post sometimes on Instagram, but Instagram is like a monitoring spirit type app. Don't nobody really go over there. But make sure you follow me on TikTok. I put my information here on the screen in the description down below. And if you would like to collab with me, my email is chantel84@me.com. And we can collab on anything, honey. Anything school related, it doesn't matter. I'm here for all the collaborations in 2026. And I will see you guys in my next video. And don't forget to stay pretty and stay busy. And bye, you guys.